back everyone, Meanpooh here, and today I'm going to go over the Acer Nitro 5. So almost every other day I get the question, hey Meanpooh, is it a good laptop? Hey Meanpooh, was it worth the price? Hey Meanpooh, does it really overheat? And first off, yes, it's a great laptop. Second, yes, it is worth the money, and it's an even better deal now because the CPU has been upgraded and you can sometimes find it under $600. And third, no, it does not overheat. I've been playing games on this machine almost every day with no problems. If you are really concerned about overheating, I have a guide on how you can undervolt the CPU. I'll leave a link in the description, and it's pretty decent, and I don't think you will have a problem trying to figure it out. So what are you getting with this machine? The main things are you're getting a 7th generation Intel Core i5-7300 HQ processor. You're getting an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti with 4 GB of dedicated GDDR5 VRAM, and it's the same model that's in the desktops, so no mobile version here. Your screen is 15.6 inches, it's full HD 1920 by 1080, it's widescreen, and it's an IPS display. More than likely, you're gonna get 8 GB of DDR4 memory and a 256 GB SSD. You're probably gonna run out of space real fast if you play a lot of games. Also, you have a battery that gets up to 8.5 hours of battery life. I can't say that's true. That is just a lie. I don't even know why they would put that in there. At most, if you're not playing a game and you're just browsing, you will probably get maybe 3 hours at the most. And I'm talking just browsing around, looking at different things, videos on YouTube, things like that. And those are the main things that you should be concerned about with this machine. So let's go over the outside. Looking at the cover, it has a really pretty finish. It almost looks like it's aluminum, but it's not. The cover is a thick plastic that is as sturdy as, say, the protective shell case for your phone. Think an OtterBox Defender. It's easy to scratch, as you can see here on mine. This happened when I put it in my backpack, and I didn't know that there was a small screwdriver in there. The words Acer are engraved on the center of the lid, and the words Nitro are engraved on the spine. Starting on the left side, we have the Kensington lock slot, and it helps keep your computer safe and locked down so people can't steal it. Next, we have the Ethernet, which is the RJ45 port, and it connects to an Ethernet 10100 1000 base network. Just pull the lip down to open up the port fully. Next, we have the USB Type-C port, and it connects to USB devices with a USB Type-C connector, and it supports USB 3.1 Gen 1 with transfer speeds up to 5 gigabits. Next, we have the HDMI port, and that supports high definition digital video connections. You can use that for video out to a bigger display monitor if you don't want to play on the screen that comes with the laptop. Moving on over, we have the USB 3.0 port, and it connects USB devices. And it also has power off charging, so you can plug your phone or whatever USB device you have. It will charge when the laptop is actually turned off or with the lid shut. Right beside that, we have the SD card reader, and it accepts one secure digital or one SDHC card. Only one can be put in at a time, so don't try to force 2 of them. On the front, you will see 2 grills, and you would think that is your speakers, and I'm sorry to say that it's not your speakers. If you look closely, those holes are solid. When I get further into the video, I'll show you exactly where your speakers are. That is probably why, if you're listening to music, it sounds like it's firing down and coming at you a little bit. Starting on the right side here, we have the DC in jack that connects to an AC adapter. Next, we have the power indicator and the battery indicator. Moving on over, we have 2 USB ports that shows various colors when charging and in AC mode. They are USB 2.0, and you can tell because it will not have the blue color on the inside of the slot. Next on over, we have the headset speaker jack, which connects to audio devices like speakers, headphones, or a headset with a microphone. Looking at the back of the computer, we have the exhaust port, and this is where the fans are pushing all the air from the computer out. Your computer actually gets its cool air from the bottom of the machine, so don't put anything on the bottom of your laptop to cover it up, and don't put anything behind to block the exhaust from coming out. You could risk damaging your components and probably blow your computer up. Looking at the bottom of the laptop, here is where the intake is located. This is where the cool air enters the computer to cool off the CPU and GPU. We also have the hard drives compartment, and that's where you can add extra storage. I have a tutorial on that if you want to know how to do it. I'll put it in the description. Also, we have the speaker vents, or the speaker panels. You can see we have two, one on the left side, one on the right side. We also have here the battery reset pinhole. I don't know why you would want to use something like that, but that's what it was when I looked it up. It's for resetting the batteries. Supposedly it simulates removing and reinstalling the battery. You can use a paper clip to activate the process. Next, we have the memory compartment. If you would like to upgrade your memory from 8 gigs to 16, or from 16 to 32 gigs, you can do that. I have a tutorial that I'll put in the description if you would like to try that. It's real easy. Located on the screen on the top of your lid, there is a webcam and a microphone. And of course, your webcam is used to take pictures of yourself and used for video conferencing. There's also a stereo microphone, and it looks like a pinhole. So you can use that to record your sound. If you don't have an external microphone, you can use that. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're just in a tight spot. What I found is that the webcam quality is not all that great. I wouldn't be trying to take pictures and post them on the internet or try and do some Photoshop with it. I don't think it'll come out too well. Also, it does not work with the overlay for the NVIDIA GeForce. So if you're trying to do some streaming and you want to put your face or your photo or whatever it is on the overlay, it just doesn't work. There's no driver for it. I can't find a driver. So you're better off just using an external camera if you want to do some streaming. And then if someone knows how to do that, go ahead and post in the comment section so other people can figure out and solve their problem if that's what they're trying to do. But like I said, the quality isn't all that good. I would just use it for calling someone on Skype or something like that. The Acer Nitro 5 has a nice keyboard. It's backlit in red, and when you type on it, it actually feels good to type on. It doesn't have a real long distance to type when you actuate the key. It's very decent. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels actually a little expensive. It's not one of those mechanical keyboards, but I'm pretty sure if they put some clicky sounds in it, it will probably feel like one. The touchpad is multi-touch. I tried it out. You can put 3 fingers on it, especially when you're moving your desktop from left to right in Windows. The backlit keyboard has no other color but red, and it cannot be dimmed. It can only be turned on and off. And you do that feature by hitting the function key and the F9 key at the top. The bottom half of the laptop, in which you can use as a wrist pad, felt pretty decent. It wasn't uncomfortable. I didn't feel any pain while typing on the keyboard. It has a shiny gloss to it, so it collects fingerprints. If you choose to wipe those off, it's pretty easy. Just know that they will come back. Here I have the brightness turned all the way up. I tried to do some different viewing angles as much as I could. I'm not an expert at this, but I'm just throwing that out there so you can have a sample of what it would look like if you're at a different angle watching maybe a movie or off to the side doing something, and this is what it could possibly look like. This is a reboot from Windows. This is with all my applications and games installed on the laptop. When I did the test, it took 20.65 seconds for a reboot, and that's hitting the restart and coming right back into Windows. That's 20.65 seconds. Not bad, because the SSD that is installed on this machine is not really all that fast. Here I took the Acer Nitro 5 and weighed it against a Apple MacBook Pro 2016. And of course the Apple MacBook has a protective covering on the outside, and the Acer Nitro 5 has the extra memory module and the extra hard drive. Now the Acer Nitro 5 weighs 2,447 grams or 5.39 pounds, while the Apple MacBook weighs 2,175 grams or 4.79 pounds. When you subtract the difference, the Acer Nitro 5 weighs 272.155 grams more or 0.6 pounds. That's not bad. Here I took two 4K images. Even though the Acer Nitro 5 is not a 4K display, I turned the brightness all the way up on both machines, and if you're looking at them in person, it doesn't look too bad. Yes, the Apple MacBook is more clear and brighter, but the 2016 MacBook Pro costs $2,400 plus. So for $600-700, it's not bad. Here I'm comparing the MacBook and the Acer Nitro 5 video. This is playing from YouTube. This is not actual gameplay. The brightness is set to full on both, so it's turned up to the highest. And the MacBook, if you look on the left, it just looks a little brighter, and on the right side where the Acer Nitro 5 is located, it's just a tad bit darker, just a bit. But the MacBook costs $2,400 plus, and you have the little Acer Nitro 5. Yeah, when it first came out, it was around $900, but you can get it right now for like $600. So just looking at that quality, not bad at all. Again, I'm not a professional at comparing screens, but I just thought that you would like a sample of what it would look like if you put both of them side by side. The Acer Nitro 5 has a width of 390 millimeters and a depth of 266 millimeters and a height of 26.75 millimeters. As you can see here, the MacBook Pro can fit inside of the Acer Nitro 5. The Acer Care Center might not be used by power users, but for the average person it provides a lot of information. For instance, you have detailed information about the hardware and the software that keeps your computer running right on the front. You can do a checkup, you can get a diagnosis and a status report on your devices, such as your battery and the network. And right around in the tune-up section, you can keep your disk defragmented, and you can check your startup manager and use the junk removal tools. That will really come in handy for someone that's trying to free up space. You can also do the system updates for the Acer Care Center. It's really easy. You just click a button and it just updates, and it also lets you know if there's any available drivers for the hardware that's installed on your computer, such as the modem drivers or your wireless, any audio driver. It'll let you know, so you just install it like really quick. You also have some support information where you can get your laptop replaced or fixed or looked at, and it will tell you where the closest service center is located. And let's not forget recovery management. You can back up or restore your system settings and network drivers to, protect against the effects of a system failure. You can also do this inside of Windows 10, but Acer added icons so it wouldn't intimidate the average user that doesn't like to tinker. Depending on the model that you purchase, you will get the Nitro Sense app. It lets you control your fan speed. You can keep it on auto. You can max out the fan. You can also use the Cool Boost feature that kicks in when it detects that the temperature is rising. You can also adjust your power plan by keeping it on power saver, balanced, or max. Another thing you can do that's really important is monitor your CPU and your GPU temperatures. It also shows the usage as well. For all the things that I've talked about, I have a full tutorial if you just look around on my site, and I'll put the links in the bottom so you can go check that out yourself. So now we are going to dismantle the Acer Nitro 5. Get you a shop towel and lay it down on a flat surface so your laptop won't get any scratches on the lid, and lay it upside down. Before I proceed, I shut the machine down prior. We're going to start by removing the 17 screws going around the laptop. Then once those screws are taken out, put them in a safe place. We're then going to remove the hard drive cover and the RAM cover, or the memory module cover. Once you remove the covers in the hard drive, if you have an extra drive in there, remove the protective covering and then remove the hard drive out of the machine. On the RAM module side, you can leave your memory in there. You can take it out to be safe, but you really don't have to take it out, because when we're taking it apart, trying to split the halves, it will not affect it. Once you are finished removing your hard drive, if you have one in there, or your memory modules, if you decided to remove those, I used a plastic Qdoba rewards card to pry the Acer laptop apart from itself. It's kind of tricky because the machine is flush. So when you're looking at the two parts, it's really hard to see where you can insert something without thinking you're going to tear it up or scratch it. So just be very careful when you start prying. I started in the back where the Ethernet port is located, and I started to work my way around. When you've opened the two halves of the Acer laptop machine, go ahead and turn it back upside down and gently lift the case off, which will be the bottom half of your laptop. And here is what it looks like on the inside. Here are the speakers I was telling you about. They're actually bottom facing. This is the battery. It's where your power comes from. This stick here is your SSD, your memory module. This is your USB 3.0. Your HDMI port. Your Kensington lock to keep your device secure. Make sure nobody don't run off with it. Looking over, this is your wireless. This is how you get your internet. Turning on Wi-Fi. It's simply real easy to replace. This is your headphone jack. A couple of USB 2.0s. And right here is your AC adapter jack. This is the USB cable that connects the daughter board to the rest of your computer. This is the CPU and GPU fans. They carry air into your computer and out of your computer. This is the GPU. And this is the CPU. Going back over to the other side, we missed some. So this is your RJ45 connector. This is your USB-C connector. This is the SD card reader. This is your left side speaker. The connector to your extra drive, which will be SATA. And here is an overlook of what everything looks like. Again. Exhaust. It's a little dirty in there, just a bit. Got a little bit of rabbit hair on the back of my machine. So we're just going to go around just a bit. And there you have it. If you wanted to go further, you could remove the fans and do a repaste, which will get your temperature down a little bit more. Because from what I've heard, the paste that they're using kind of dries up really fast. So a good little repasting will help lower your temperatures. I may do a repasting video once my warranty runs out. That is, if I still have this machine. But I'm pretty sure someone has done one on it. So since I don't have one for my channel, I'll do it for you guys. This is what it looks like when you put the bottom back onto the laptop. And you can actually see where you can insert something to actually separate the two halves. So we're just going to go around a little bit just to show you. I'll just lift it up and down, just to give you some insight, just in case you start to open yours up on a different spot than what I have. When you put the bottom back on, make sure you push down gently. You will hear some popping sound, and that's just confirming that it is on correctly, and you're just putting pressure down to engage the clips that are on the inside of the case. Reassembly is the easy part. All you have to do is just reverse everything we've done. You can either go back to the beginning of the video, or you can watch this part as I just put everything in reverse. If you stuck with me this long, I know you're probably getting tired, but I know you might have one more question, and that question might be, well, what can the Acer Nitro 5 play with just a 1050 Ti? Well, I'll tell you, I have a page on YouTube that has a whole lot of games that I've played. Games like PUBG, Resident Evil 7, Nier Automata, Fortnite, Destiny 2, Assassin's Creed Origins. You can play Cuphead, Prey, Wolfenstein, The New Colossus, Call of Duty World War II, Injustice, Battlefield, Divinity Original Sin 2. All kinds of games you can play with the Acer Nitro 5 with decent frame rates. So this is not a bad machine. I don't work for Acer, but I'm just telling you from my experiences. You can even see me play on my live streams and get a gauge for what the performance is. Or, like I said, check out my YouTube channel. As I bring the video to a close, if you found the video to be informative in the slightest, or if it helped you in any type of way, please like, share, and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And it would also help get the word out there about this laptop for some people that can't afford very expensive machines to play some very top-notch games. And hopefully I'll see you in game. Meanpooh out.